today we're gonna attempt to assemble a hoop house.
Attempt is the key word.
We purchased a Vevor tunnel greenhouse. So we ordered this from Home Depot and I paid something like $160 for it, and that included shipping. So pretty good deal. We are looking to extend our grow season because fall's coming up real fast, temperatures are about to drop, and we needed to make a quick decision whether we wanted to lose all of our plants or if we wanted to make our first attempt ever at some sort of greenhouse style grow. And this one measures about 20 feet long and about 6 feet high and I think 10 feet wide.
It's pretty big.
Yeah, it's pretty big. So should be plenty of room to accommodate the plants that we're going to put in it. And we wanted to show everybody how the assembly goes. This is a really, really inexpensive option, but we thought we'd give it a shot. And if it doesn't work, then it's not the end of the world, but we're going to show you how we're going to set it up. I've watched a lot of videos about this specific greenhouse. I have some concerns because from what I understand, you're kind of getting what you pay for with it. But I've also heard some people say that they have some positive reviews for it as well. So bearing that in mind, we're going to put it together and we're going to, give you our insight into what we think of it and if it's worth your time.
Yeah, so today we got the build going on. There are many pieces to this. It seems like it's going to be a project to put it together, but looking forward to tackling it. Today we'll show you what it's like.
Right here is everything that comes in the box. We've got a bunch of poles that are straight poles of varying sizes. Each package is labeled with a corresponding number, so you know what pieces the instructions are talking about. This over here is the curved poles, which are the roof supports that are going to be going on the top. We even got some gloves. They include 4 work gloves.
2 pair.
2 pairs. So that's pretty cool.
And all the hardware to put it together.
Of varying kinds. And then there's also some ties that came in, some like nylon ties. And this green thing is the actual cover that's going to go over the greenhouse and it's going to help to protect the plants. We'll see how this all goes together. My first impression opening this box was that this is not the most like heavy duty metal, but it's a lot heavier duty than I was expecting it to be. So
I actually thought it was going to be PVC, but it's all solid aluminum. So
yeah, so it is actual aluminum piping, and still it doesn't seem like it's going to be able to take the most tremendous weight ever, but much better than I was expecting it to be. So we'll see.
So one thing you can notice with these pieces also is that one end's tapered and the other one's normal, so they fit together nice and easy.
The next difficulty we've run into is understanding the instructions. They're not the best written instruction booklets that you've ever come across. So it's got all the poles are labeled, all the different pieces. They all have a number on them. This is pole number 1, and it's the same on both ends. Pole number 2 has a tapered end. So it does matter that you set them all up correctly. So one side should all be number 1 and the next side should all be number 2. So mystery solved. Here's another issue that we just ran into. There are 3 different size screws that come in the bags. None of them are numbered or labeled except for one, which is the shortest length screw. So we don't really know what the difference is. In the booklet, there is a chart of what's what. So this got us a little bit confused because we weren't sure if we were using the right ones. You have to follow the diagrams in the book, which will tell you the length of each screw, and then the diagram will tell you how many are in the packet, and that's how you figure out what's what. So we just realized, luckily right at the beginning, that we used the wrong screw on the ones we've set up already. So we've only used a couple so far. We'll just switch them out for the right ones. But basically, it takes a little bit of deciphering to read this all out. Yeah. But that's the chart right there. And just take a look at your screws and maybe give the directions a good once over. It makes sense once you kind of figure that out, but we didn't go that far. Whoops.
Shame on us.
Starting to look like something. Look at that. We got a hoop house going. Still some more supports to put in, but we're almost done. So that's pretty cool. So far, what do you think of the setup?
I mean, I think it was great. It was very, well, I shouldn't say very easy to set up, but once you figured it out, it was kind of easy to put together.
Yeah, so the instructions are somewhat hieroglyphic, and it did take some time to figure out exactly what was supposed to go where, and the quantities, you know, we needed to pay attention to those. Yeah. Everything is numbered, and the actual assembly was pretty easy so far. But I would recommend it being a two-person job. One person, maybe you could do it yourself, but it's a little bit of wobbly metal, so I don't know if that would really.
And one thing I would definitely recommend if you are doing it, especially if you're doing it by yourself, I know it says to do one side at a time, but you need to connect a couple of the hoops to hold it upright, so that way it's not flopping all over on you. It just make it much easier to do. So once we did that, it just set right up nice. It made sense to lay it all out before you put it together, which is what we did, and that's what it instructed us to do. And right now, I mean, I think it looks pretty good. So
it does,
now we just gotta put in a few more pieces and tighten it up, and we should be good to go.
All right, we'll check back. Okay, so we're almost done, and we have a few things left to do. Everything is assembled, 100%, the frame is up. And there is even included in the pack these little black plastic caps that you can put in on the hollow ends of the tubes on each side of the doorway, which is nice. One of them didn't fit, but it's not like super imperative that we have this, so whatever, you know, it's not gonna go in. Right now, Brian is ratcheting up all of the nuts, so it's going to be nice and secure. And turns out we needed no power tools to do this. So far, we just screwed all the nuts in by hand, and he's just tightening everything up. So it's going to take a minute, but not anything too crazy. They do include a little wrench, but we didn't use this one. We're just using one that we have already. So after that's all done, we're going to put the plastic on, and we're going to screw it down into the ground to keep it nice and secure. And we'll see what we make of it after that. Behind me, you can see, here is the completed polytunnel. Ta-da! So what happened was we ran out of light the other day when we were assembling the frame. So we had to leave off where we were before we put the cover on. We didn't get it on film because Brian had time while I was at work the next day to go ahead and put it on himself. So that should kind of show how easy it is, because he's one person. He didn't need a ladder. He didn't need any help doing it. He just threw it over the top and kind of finagled the ends a little bit, and it went right on. So super simple. And let's go take a look inside and check it out. So if we take a look at it with the cover on, this is the entrance. So there's a zipper flap for the door. And it does have some ties that you can attach to stake into the ground right there. It's got a little like twisty stake, and that's holding that on by some nylon cord. The plastic is this kind of, it's pretty thin plastic, but it's looking good. And there's some windows along the outside. I went ahead and I opened up every other one on this side. There are windows on both sides of the tunnel. And the reason I went and did that is because I stopped home earlier today and it's pretty warm. It was about 80 degrees today and it was cooking in there. So I wanted to see, the temperature's gone down quite a bit. The sun's pretty much setting, but I wanted to go ahead and see if it helped to vent just by opening that little bit. Let's go inside. Here we are inside the tunnel. Look at this, it's so cool. We wanted to set this up and get something of a feel for it before we filled it in with any of our plants. And so far, here's what I'm thinking. It smells really bad. That's my first impression. It smells like this gross new plastic smell. Hopefully that kind of goes away. This has been shut up all day until I vented it, and I stuck a thermometer in here. I wanted to see how much it actually heated up. When I got home in the middle of the day, this thing was blazing in here. There was a notable difference between the inside and outside temperature, and the walls had some moisture on them. So it seems like, as far as acting as a greenhouse, it certainly does that. And I did go ahead and stick a little thermometer in the ground. So right now this is measuring 73 degrees, and that's probably what it is, outside right now. When I first stuck this in earlier this afternoon, it was measuring as high as 93. So that was a solid at least 13 degrees higher than it was on the outside of the tunnel. So again, definitely keeping the greenhouse part of it going pretty strong. And here's the other windows on the other side, which I didn't bother opening. Still feels warm in here, but certainly not, any dramatic temperature difference. This is the other end of the tunnel, and there is no other door. I was under the impression that both sides opened up, but apparently that was incorrect, and they don't. But we'll have to see. This plastic cover just has these little, ribbon ties, and it literally does feel like ribbon. I mean, it's not super strong material by any means. It just ties onto the metal bars, which we originally thought was aluminum. It turns out they're magnetic, so they are not aluminum. A lot of bugs in here. Bugs seem to like it. So as far as what we're hoping to get out of this, our expectations are not incredibly high. We are hoping to use this to, one, get a feel for working in a greenhouse, which we have no experience doing. This was a very inexpensive startup kit, so we were hoping that this might give us a little bit of an idea of what we're looking at. The other thing is we're hoping to just extend our season for the peppers that we have, and it's already getting kind of cold at night. Temperatures are not what would be ideal for our area, so we're hoping that this will help to stretch them out a little bit more, and maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised and it will actually hold up better than we think. I don't trust for 1 second that a heavy snow is not going to take this thing right down. So what winter time where we get a lot of snow in our area, like a lot, we live in a mountainous area in New England, it gets brutally cold and very, very snowy. So we will see what adjustments we have to make, and we want to see how long this can really go for before it's not good. So we're going to be doing a lot of experiments, and we'll keep you posted.